This is our current situation outside. It is beautiful. It is raining. Oh, how I love hearing the rain. This is the second week in a row that we are able to enjoy this beautiful, beautiful rain. And I mean, it's not just raining, it is pouring. And it's just gorgeous. Oh, pouring. Love it. So it is Monday, and I'm looking a little rough today because I got up really early, took my husband to work. It has been raining off and on here, but I love it. It just gives you really good vibes. I have on one of my Christmas shirts. You can't see the cuteness of it because the cuteness is in the back. But anyway, I have been busy. I have dusted in preparation for getting ready for Thanksgiving and everybody coming. Well, not everybody, but Suzanne coming, my sister-in-law coming. I like to dust the house, get it really, really nice and fresh and clean. So I dusted the guest room where my sister-in-law will be staying. I dusted Suzanne's room, her bathroom. I dusted my bedroom, our bedroom, and my bathroom. So I'm done. I mean, it takes me forever. I'm so slow. So I'm going to do something else today instead of just cleaning the entire day. So I believe I will leave. I dusted the hallway too. That was another thing, because I have to dust my plantation shutters, which I love plantation shutters. I think they're very cool, but they get dusty. And like I said many times, this house was built in the 70s, so it has a lot of wood, and the wood is medium dark. And you know, you just have to really get after these because they will show dirt and keep dirt. So anyway, I got all of the plantation shutters done. I got this part of my house done. This is also very unusual. Probably somebody would come in and rip this out, but I'm not going to do it. I love it. You know, it's all along the hallway. It's here on both sides as you walk down the hallway. It's here. I don't even know what to call this. I don't know what style this is. I'm not good with that sort of art. I'm not in that art realm. I don't know nothing about home style. But anyway, these always have to be dusted, and it's kind of a pain. And then not only are they there, which separates the living room from the hallway, but they are here in the living room opposite the TV. So they're on this side, they're on this side, and I don't know if anybody knows what the style of this would be. If this house was built in 74 or in the 70s, somewhere in that area, what style of architecture is my home? I don't know. Skylights up there, highlights. I have 2 skylights in the kitchen, and I think I've shown them before. There's a skylight there in the kitchen, right above the island, which is very nice. And there's a skylight in here in what I call the music room / office / whatever it is. And it is huge. It's really, really big. And it has faded a lot of my photos that are in here because it is so bright. But if you're playing the piano or if you're working on something, it's a great place to be for, you know, having some good light. But anyway, so that's what I've been up to today, is cleaning. So I think tomorrow when I wash my hair, which it desperately needs it, our hairstylist says don't wash your hair for about 2 or 3 days so that the color can set and look good. and doesn't immediately begin washing out. So I do pay attention to that, and I will not, since it was done on Saturday, I won't wash it until tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So, yeah, I think that I will finish dusting. I'll do the living room tomorrow, the kitchen, and probably the music room. And that will get me all finished for next week. It'll get dusty a little bit again, but it won't be bad. And by dusting, I mean I literally dust with a rag, and I use some sort of spray. I don't know if I love this or not. I had gotten it one time. It's the Murphy's cleaning spray for wood. And I don't know if I like it or not as compared to like some of the other dusting sprays that are out there. But it's all right. It did a really good job on the shutters, the plantation shutters and everything. But yeah. So if I get the dusting done on Monday and Tuesday, then that will leave me vacuuming probably on Thursday and Friday. And then my other duties this week, I change the sheets on Wednesdays. I have these days, you know. I wash towels on Tuesdays and Fridays, do the sheets on Wednesdays, Swiffer on Mondays and usually Fridays, sometimes Thursday. So that I will probably vacuum on Thursday or Friday and mop the floors and also buff the hardwood floors and the engineered hardwood floors. So that leaves me with what would I like to do today. I got a lot of washing done. I have a lot of my washing laying around. I got my t-shirts washed that I'm planning to do for Christmas. So I told myself I need to get into the jewelry that I need to repair for my sister, for Suzanne, for my great niece, and I need to get that done. So I think that's going to be on my list, is to repair some jewelry, listen to podcasts, and go from there. You may notice that my neck is really red. Last week, it was actually Friday, I didn't feel real well, and I almost felt like I had just a little bit of a fever. And so now, every time I run a fever, I get red in my neck and on the inner arms of, the opposite of your elbow. And I've read about it. I have no idea what it was. I don't have eczema. I've worried about shingles. I don't think that's it. Hives, maybe, but I thought hives disappeared pretty quick. So I have no idea what this is, but I've done this for years. If I get highly stressed or I run a slight temperature, I will have a red neck for about 2 or 3 days, and then it just disappears. So anyway, I've been dealing with that. It doesn't itch. It doesn't hurt. It's slightly warm, but I don't know what that's all about. So there's always something, isn't there? There's always something to worry about, think about. I don't know. Anyway, I have enjoyed all the Christmas so much. I've enjoyed having it out. I'm glad it's done and everything's decorated. And I love Thanksgiving. I wish we could kind of think more about Thanksgiving instead of getting all the Christmas out, but it's okay. It's fun to have it all out, and you can enjoy it for a couple of months. All right, let me go get busy. I need to do some jewelry repair. And tonight, the Dallas Cowboys are playing. We are so disheartened. They are our team. We will not give them up. They've had a rough year, a rough season. And my husband says they're probably not going to win tonight, but we're going to watch and see how that goes. So I think that I will go do that. And if anything else happens today that could be interesting or will be, I will let you know. So Monday, let's get going with what my plans are. Good morning. It is Tuesday, and I got up early again this morning. I got the rest of my dusting done, so my house is all dusted for next week. I know that it will probably get slightly dusty, before company, but at least it has been polished. I do the polishing part where you take everything off and use spray and wipe it down probably every couple of months, and then in between I just Swiffer weekly with my dusting, and that kind of keeps the excess particles off of the furniture. So anyway, yesterday when I got finished, I pulled out all of my jewelry again because I am making repairs. So I will show you what my dining room table looks like now that I have everything pulled out. My plan for the rest of the week is to work on those things, repairs, and Thursday I think I will vacuum and get that stuff done, and then my daughter will be home Friday. So let's go take a look at the dining room table. Oh, and by the way, I have on one of my shirts. This is one that the cute stuff is in the back instead of in the front. It's the one with the cardinals. I don't know if I can show you or not. I'll try to, though. So this is now the current state of the end of my dining room table. And I decided to put up the card table. I just didn't want that extension out here. It was just in the way. So I pulled out all my stuff because I think I'm gonna need it. And I had gotten a lot of things from estate sales, and my sister gave me things from estate sales. So yesterday I spent most of the time organizing, going through, putting the colors together, putting the silver toned pieces together so that I wouldn't have to worry about, doing that when it came time for me to make new jewelry. I thought if I get it all done and all fixed, then maybe it will be easier when I get ready to start. And I've never really shown my jewelry stuff. I don't know if you would like to see it or not, but I will show you and let you see what, and pardon the clothes that are out. This is how I dry some of my sweaters. I just drape them over the back of my chairs. So excuse me for that. But anyway, yeah, I'm getting ready to start on some jewelry. So here is the back of my shirt with the beautiful cardinals. I just love this, and it's very comfortable, and it's a little chilly today, so the long sleeves really do feel good. So when I was showing all of my Christmas decor, I had showed everyone my village that I love to put out on the top of my fireplace mantle, and I had said, does anybody want to know who these people are? And Lindy, thank you for asking and saying yes, you would like to know. So I'm going to tell you who these people are. So I guess I'll just start at the end. This is my niece and nephew when they were young, Jonna and Jeremy, and they were very close in age, so that's appropriate for them. And then now that they're grown up, Jeremy has 3 boys and Jonna has 2 girls. So I just let all the kids that are going around the snowman be my great nieces and nephews. And then back here at the back is my other nephew, that is my sister-in-law's son, Brian. And then Suzanne is right there. Suzanne loves to shop, so I thought this was appropriate to name her character that. And she also has brown hair, so that works really well. This is John and myself, Laura and John. And I don't know, I just love these characters. It makes me so happy to pretend that it's us in these villages. This is my sister-in-law, and when her husband was alive, his name was Jim, and that's just appropriate because they live in a place where we really did go on a sleigh ride one time with a horse, and I will always treasure that memory when he was alive and we got to do that. And then since Brian grew up and got married, I'm gonna name this little girl his wife, Melissa. And then this is my husband's parents, Jewel and Walter. His name was Walter, and it's so appropriate that he was Walter because ever since then, it must be, I don't know, something with Disney World, Walt Disney, and his name was Walter. And it was just so funny that I married a man whose father's name was Walter. Anyway, Walter and Jewel, and she loved to drink coffee. So very appropriate for them to be standing there getting their coffee for the morning. And then back here is my sister and her husband when he was alive. He's no longer with us either. And they like to travel, or my sister loves to travel. So I thought that was appropriate for those two characters to be her. And then this was my mother and dad, June and AD. And it's, you know, sometimes I get kind of teary-eyed when I go over here and look at them, but at the same time, it just brings back such wonderful memories. Oh, and by the way, my sister's husband's name was John, and my husband's name is John. So it was really confusing when we would get together, but also kind of fun. Now, there are some other characters in the vignette that do not have names. The mailman back there doesn't really have a name. The police officer back there doesn't really have a name. Nobody specific. The man selling the coffee doesn't. And I don't know who this gentleman is back here. Can't give him a name yet, though. Don't know who he is. And then I picked this up no, it wasn't last year. It was 2 years ago at Walmart. I don't know why I added her, but I guess it was because of the Cardinals. I thought, okay, she's got to come and be in my vignette. So she doesn't have a name either. You know, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, I just love it. I love looking up here when I'm sitting up here on the sofa, and it just brings such happiness and joy to me to be kind of silly and name all of the characters. So just look at the color outside my window. This is my kitchen window. It is so cool to look at and see color. I'm so excited. So I had to get out today to mail an eBay order, and I went down to this place we have in town. It's called, I think it's called Downtown Home Cooking. Anyway, they have different meals every day, and I have something to eat today, but my husband does not. So I went and got him a fried pork chop, some grilled vegetables, a roll, and this is applesauce cake, and I hope that he will share that with me. But I have some soup left over that I need to eat, so I thought, I better get him something that he would enjoy. So I do not eat pork. I do not like ham. I don't like pork chops. I hate sausage, but I will eat bacon. I know, I don't know. I got sick on ham one time, and I've not wanted it ever since. So I don't know. And sausage just has too much, the textural thing. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. But anyway, but I do kind of like bacon. I will eat bacon pretty often. All right, let's go over here and look at some of my jewelry supplies that I use. And yeah, I thought that might be kind of fun to share. Actually where I started. And of course, I've added to it since then. But I started out with just collecting different kinds of glass beads. I don't use anything plastic. It has to be glass, you know. But I have added, of course, like I said, to these. And whatever things I buy, I try to sort them by color so that I can find them pretty easy. But this was actually my first original box. And then my sister got in on this. She used to have a shop. And my dad, you know, I've shown you the things that he does in our home. He used to cross stitch. He loved cross stitch. He was the most talented man I believe I have ever met. He built my mother and him, he built the house, the first house that my mother and he lived in, and he could fix anything, he could repair anything, and he was just extremely creative. So when he got older and got kind of tired of my mother's things that would happen, you know, with married couples when they get older, he just loved to go in and either read, he was an avid reader, or he would cross stitch. Now, why that became a thing, I don't know, but it just did. So anyway, some of these things came from my sister's store that she had gotten for him to just work with. But a lot of it I have bought, and I can't even tell you. I'm not going to tell you what I've bought and what she's given me. It just take too long. But anyway, these are just collections of things that I use in my jewelry. And I know this is kind of noisy. So I need a light. Maybe a light would help. This is also a collection of different kinds of beads. Again, they are either glass or I just don't use them. So there's that collection in that box. I had found several pearl necklaces. Many of them are broken. I'm not sure about the pearls. I'm sure most of them are glass. And if I ever find any that like flake off or whatever, I get rid of them. Unless they are covered, if they're glass beads, they're covered to look like pearl, I soak them off and I use the glass beads. I know that sounds kind of weird, but that's what I do. And then this collection up here in this box is all chains and earring posts. So if I need a chain for a particular reason, I come to that drawer. Tools, and I have quite a few tools, and some of them I have gotten actually at estate sales, or my sister gives them to me, or I've purchased them myself. And then the things that are in this bottom drawer are just different collections of like silver beads, connecting chains, just various assortments. And at the very, very back, there's some Christmas stuff, and I'm not going to get that out to show. I don't know that would be all that interesting, but anyway. And then down here by myself in the floor, I have this group. These are silver beads, some rondelles, gold beads. So it's just a variety of beads that I can use. In this box, this is nothing but silver connectors, varieties. And then on the sides, I have things like I can use to add to the piece. For instance, I can put a heart, of some kind. I've got all kinds of hearts and things in here. And then on the other side, these are also things that I can add for extra detail. Those as well, extra details. But the rest of this is all just, connecting beads and spacers. And then in the box below it, this is what I use to put everything together. These things that are so important. I don't know the names of everything. Those are for closing on the end of a necklace so that you cannot see where you have connected the necklace to a closure. Those are wonderful. And like I said, I don't know the names of everything. I'm not that into it to really, I just know what I need them for. Pinching tools where you pinch the wire together so it doesn't come apart. And then these were also some extra connecting tools that I might need for one reason or another. And I forgot I had some pearls in here too. Sometimes I forget what I've got, But anyway, those are super important for putting everything together. And then in this blue tub, it is full of a lot of different kinds of things. This stuff right here is not that important on top. But I do have beads in here. And tools that you can make your own hanging piece. The wires you can twist and make your own hanging piece. My leather stuff is in here. Polishing cloths, lots of leather, lots of wire. I keep my wire in here that I use to start everything. So this is an important box. And by wire, I mean this stuff right here. So that's a very important box. And then over on this side, these are all my bead collections. So, gracious mercy, these are like Austrian crystal. I have some Swarovski crystals. These I absolutely love. Each container has its own gemstone, like that's all coral. This one is tiger eye. I mean, I won't go down and show you everything, but there's turquoise, there is lapis. There's so much, I can't remember what all I got. That was turquoise. This is sodalite. I mean, everything has a name. This is rhodochrosite, which is kind of weird it's got some pinks in it. This one is picture jasper. It's really pretty stuff. A lot of this is jasper. These are some of my favorites, the rose quartz, sunstone, citrine, Dalmatian spot jasper. This is some of my favorite right here. Oops, gonna have to pick that up. Opalite has a blue cast to it. So anyway, all of that's really, really important. And then in these, I also love these. I ordered these off of Amazon, and I trusted that they are actually what they are. But I wrote on the back what they are, like yellow jade, yellow tiger eye, wooden jasper, white turquoise, unakite, gold sandstone, green aventurine, amethyst, turquoise, azurite, rhodonite, china jade, sodalite, red agate, red line jasper, and amazonite. I also love amazonite. It's kind of got a blue tint to it. Really, really pretty. So there's that box, and then this one has a little bit different stuff. Blue aventurine, labradorite, malefinate stone, African turquoise, mahogany obsidian, brecciated jasper, white, crazy agate, synthetic, and that's only synthetic, chrysocoll stone, pink zebra, sodalite, green hairstone, black polished glass, egg yolk stone, yellow jade, and Dalmatian spot jasper. So I just love all the names of all the stuff. That makes it half the fun, is learning these different gemstones and the colors that they are. And everything's so stuffed. I have everything in a certain spot, and it's got to fit there. Okay, this I've had for quite a while, and it is also separated by color. So everything in here is gold or tan. Everything in here is white, clear, or crystal. Everything in here is black. Everything in here is purple or lavender, red, pink, kind of, I would say, mahogany, blue, which would be lapis, and more blue, which a lot of this is navy blue sandstone, or sunstone, excuse me, and my turquoise pieces. And then my sister got me all of these, and it has kind of a neat story. We were privileged to know a man named Kenneth White, and if you've probably heard of Kenneth White, he was a Western artist, and he did pass away, I believe it was last year. Anyway, I have a print of Kenneth White's that my mother gave me. If you get the original artwork, it's in the thousands and 10,000s. He also did sculptures and stuff like that. But if you don't know who Kenneth White is, look him up. He was a Western artist. He was also a pastor, and he lived in my hometown. And I actually had his wife. She was my teacher in junior high. She taught English, and I loved her. She was the most calm woman I've ever met. Just very gracious and humble, and he was a pastor. Kenneth White started out as a Methodist minister, I believe. He had 2 children. They're still going and doing and selling his work, and one of them lives actually where my daughter does, and she's into antiques and estate sales, so that's kind of cool. So when Kenneth White passed last year, my sister went to his estate sale that was put on by his daughter, And she too knew the family very well because my sister was also a teacher. She taught English and Spanish. And she minored in PE. She's the athletic one in the family. It's not me. I like to play tennis and I like to walk, but I am not athletic. She could play basketball, all kinds of sports. So anyway, she did her student teaching with Kenneth White's wife, which is also a cool story. And of course, I had her as my teacher in junior high. So anyway, when he passed away, she went to the estate sale because his wife used to make jewelry, turquoise jewelry. So she got a lot of her pieces. And when I make something, it's just, it's very hard to let go of things that came from them. And yet, what are we going to do with it? I can't keep all of this. So my sister said, make the jewelry, sell it, make me some things for memories, and, So anyway, that's what these pieces, genuine turquoise, that she collected over the years. Very good pieces, old pieces. And it's just big pieces, they're not anything. I have a little trouble using them because some of them are so big, but it's also kind of fun to try to see what I can incorporate them into. So when I say that I use real gemstones, I am serious. I use real gemstones, but my heart is broken. I cannot sell a lot of my jewelry, which, it is what it is. I wish somebody would just tell me, hey, you're not very good at this, so quit doing it. But I like doing it, and if I do nothing but, do things for my family, I guess that's good enough. But look at this, y'all. I have so much turquoise. I could make people whatever they wanted. Send me a picture, and I can try to recreate that necklace for you that might cost thousands of dollars, and I can make it much cheaper. Because I just, I don't have the name associated with myself. So I can do it on the cheap, and I do not use sterling silver mainly because it tarnishes. I'm not crazy about sterling silver for that reason. I just as soon use the silver tones and the gold tones. This is cool stuff. It's not turquoise. It's an African type bead. And look, this is just crazy. Wow. This stuff is called, let me see if I can find it again. I always forget. Azurite. Azurite is a very pretty stone because it's greenish blue or bluish green, or however way you would want to say it. And then there's more in here that don't have a bag. So this is all the stuff that she got from me from their estate sale. And it's just crazy. Actually used to have a store in Red River, New Mexico. In fact, I think they probably still do. They have a store in Amarillo, Texas. They have a store in Plainview, Texas. I mean, and then his art is just everywhere. In my old hometown, because they ate at this restaurant all the time, they have a lot of his artwork hanging up in the restaurant. So anyway, it's a cool story. It's kind of neat that we actually knew those people. Okay, so here is some more stuff. This came from estate sales. I'm going to tear this up and do something with it. And yes, it is turquoise. There is coral that my sister got from the Wyatt's estate sale. Here's a bunch of coral, sponge coral, tiger eye back here. Just tons of tiger eye. And look at these huge, huge pieces of coral. I don't know if you know or not, but coral is becoming, the red coral is becoming kind of rare. So having these big, huge pieces, it kind of scares me to death because
I could charge a fortune, but I can't because I don't have the right name. I don't have an established name, but, you could get hundreds of dollars for these things. Anywho, most of my jewelry is anywhere from $30 to $120. Just kind of depends on what's in it. And there's more stuff here. There's silver beads. There's gold beads. Just a combination of a lot of stuff.
And I think I told you before that my inspiration comes from a Sundance artist named Jess Meharry. Sundance catalog, which was established by Robert Redford. I used to just be absolutely in love with Robert Redford, not in the weird sense, but just he is my favorite actor. I just loved. I didn't love all of his movies, but I loved a lot of them. Anyway, Robert Redford established this catalog company, and it's also a storefront, Sundance, and probably named after his famous movie Butch and the Sundance Kid. So you go into that catalog or you look at it online, and the clothes are pretty expensive, but the jewelry is astronomical. They do use sterling silver, they do use 14 karat gold in some of it. Some of it's not so expensive, some of it is in like the $3,000 and up range, especially Jess Meharry's jewelry. And I don't know how a person establishes a name that makes them famous where they can charge a fortune, kind of like Kenneth Wyatt started out as an artist, and I think I told the story once on one of my videos that Festus Hagen off of Gunsmoke, which I can't remember his real name, but anyway, somehow or another they met, and he bought one of Kenneth Wyatt's paintings, and that just made his name in the Western world soar. So everybody wanted a Kenneth Wyatt original, and he just took off. And then when you take off, then you can start raising your prices and make a living at it. But unfortunately, little old Laura Strother that lives in Podunk, Texas was a teacher and just is doing this for fun. I do craft shows, but it's never like over the top. I did well. I will sell a few things, and that's nice, but I don't sell a lot. And I've kind of agonized over it a little bit because I would like for this to be a supplemental income for myself being retired. Because if you know any teachers, especially in Texas, we don't make a whole lot. We're not paid that well as some teachers across the country. Plus, there's another issue. Teachers in Texas, if you worked somewhere before you became a teacher and paid into the Social Security system, you cannot collect Social Security and teacher retirement. State in our country, in our 48 contiguous states, allow their teachers to get that double payment if they worked before they became a teacher and had enough points in the Social Security system to be able to collect. I did work a little bit before I taught, but I do not have enough points. My husband, however, worked. He worked for his father, a farmer. He was a farmer, and he worked for many years and paid into Social Security. So then when my husband and I retired, and my husband rehired, he's still working. He went back to work. When we retired, we can only collect teacher retirement, which when you collect the teacher retirement, you of course want to leave something to your family. So whatever you decide to do, like if you leave half of your salary when you're gone, when you've passed away, it pulls down your monthly income, which is what I did. And so I only make barely half of what I could make if I had not chosen to leave the money to my family. On top of, we cannot draw Social Security and teacher retirement. But like I said, other states allow it. We are, though, in the process right now in the state of Texas. They are working on this. It's called the WEP. And anybody that lives in Texas right now, whether you're a teacher or not, please support the windfall thing, because it will, if it passes, allow teachers to finally collect the Social Security that they paid into before they became a teacher. And I know this is a lot of legal jargon and falderall, but it is kind of a big deal. And if it did pass, it would really help my husband. Wouldn't help me because, like I said, I don't have enough points, but it would definitely help him. And so I know a lot of people that I taught with and people that I know whose husbands have passed, and they worked for the school in some sort of capacity, whether they were a teacher or a janitorial service or an aide or whatever. If they choose to take the education retirement, they cannot collect their husband's benefits if he passes. And it's put a lot of widows in very, very bad situation. And I know 2 or 3 right now that has happened, and they are struggling, and it's really sad. So anyway, that was a rant on that part. But yeah, so supplementing an income and still being, in your 60s and vibrant and wanting to work and do things, I think is great. And I don't want to just sit in a chair and read a book and sleep all afternoon. I want to be busy and active. And I love art things. I love anything that has to do with being creative. And so to be able to be creative at the same time and earn money is really, really, I think, a neat thing. But I am not making a lot of money at all. And I pedal a little bit, but you can only pedal so much. I mean, people get one piece of jewelry and they're done, and I understand that. Plus, on top of that, jewelry is frivolous. I realize that too. It's not a necessity. You can't eat it, you can't. So I realize it's a frivolous thing, but wouldn't it be wonderful to have an established name where people all over the country would like to have one piece of your jewelry? And that is my dream. I would like to be like Just Mary or Mahari or however you say her name. And do I want to charge $3,000 for a piece of jewelry? Not really. I don't know that it's worth it. But it's certainly, by using real gemstones, to me, now that I've been in this and I know how much all this stuff costs, it is worth, between $100 to $300 to $500. It really is, because these are natural, real gemstones. So, do I want to be famous? Oh, no, I don't know. That's really not me. I'm doing this YouTube channel, but I will tell you, I am the biggest introvert ever. So to be able to talk and do this, I don't know how I'm doing it, other than I just kind of enjoy it, because I talked for years to my little kids, and then when you stop teaching and there's not anybody to talk to anymore, you kind of go stir crazy. because all I did was, teach them and tell them things, and, so. But I am definitely not an extrovert. I'm very shy in public, not on the camera so much, but definitely in public. I used to play the piano. I still play the piano, but publicly I would play in the church. I played for kids who were in the band who needed an accompanist, however you say that. I did that sort of thing without getting paid. It wasn't a paid thing. And so that was public performance, but I don't know. I guess when you're playing in a different capacity other than like being a performer, it's not as scary. So, yeah. Anyway, but no, I am definitely an introvert. I am a homebody. I just as soon stay home than get out and go anywhere. But I do love to shop and I love to look. That's kind of different. But being in a group of people gives me extreme anxiety. So then you go, well, then how do you go to Disney World? I don't know. Disney World is just a different feeling. Yes, there are hundreds and thousands of people all around, but for some reason it just doesn't matter. I don't know. That I don't know those people, so you just be kind and nice and smile, and every once in a while we'll strike up a conversation with someone. That's kind of fun. Anyway, I don't know how I got off on that from making jewelry, but anyway, I just thought it might be kind of fun for you to see what I work with and what I do and why, and yeah, that sort of thing. Okay, I will show you the things that I'm going to work on, and then I gotta get busy because the afternoon is waning on and it's gonna be going away quick and we'll be losing light. These are the things I've got to repair. This is my sister's stuff that I've got to repair. Plus these things and those things. And then for Suzanne, it's over here on the table. The things that I finished doing for her are ready to go. I had to do some gluing and I had to do some repairs. So all of this stuff is ready for her when she comes. So I will get busy in a minute and probably have some dinner at probably 3 o'clock or so. And then I'll continue doing what I'm doing. I'm having a lot of trouble getting motivated. I just I'll sit down and I'll get started and then I get up and go do something else. I can't focus very well. So I need to go over here and sit down and get started, or I'm going to be really, really behind. And it's going to be not good because December's coming up and I really want to get into painting my t-shirts. So I've got to get this jewelry done and put away for a while. And then, after Christmas, when Christmas is over, I'm hoping that my next craft show that we're going to do, I'll be able to sell some of my jewelry and I can make new. I've got so many ideas and so many pictures saved that I want to try to recreate and yet make it my own. I don't want to copy it exactly, but I like to have something to start off on. So, when January and February comes, I'd like to get back into my jewelry making again and go from there. So, let's get busy.